When we review or report on something, we don't want there to be any guesswork. We believe the information must be accurate, and it has to be reliable. For what we review, the goal is hopefully to educate our audience, and at the same time, an equally important goal is in turn to get educated ourselves. What we want to do is earn the trust of our audience, and to do that, we ensure what we report is accurate, rumor-free, and teaser-free. The premium cigar industry is so dynamic, and every day brings something new. We wanted Cigar Coop to be an extension of that experience, so it has to be 365 days a year. We wanted to create a true media ecosystem and integrate Cigar Coop with the power of our Stogie Geeks programming network.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Stogie Geeks Show. This is our Stogies of the Week segment where we talk about all the cigars that we've been smoking and what we thought of them. I'm going to turn it over to either Rayman or Hollywood, whoever wants to go first. My Stogies are kind of light. I've been, the past like 5 or 6 weeks or so, I've either had a conference to attend, sometimes in Boston, sometimes at least once in Orlando. In between there was school vacations.
Been on the road, under the weather.
Yeah, and I was under weather. I was sick for a while from traveling and from being with the kids and all that stuff. So my Stogies, I haven't been doing a lot of cigar reviewing lately. I do have some that I have reviewed. So
okay. Well, last week, continuation of last week, I finally had the opportunity to try the All Out Kings. And this week, I wanted to try the other two sizes. So I've had it in all 4 sizes. I had the Forever Last, which is a 6.5 by 54, and I've had the fourth pose this week, which is the 6 by 54 Torpedo. And I was kind of the opposite of your take. A couple segments back, Paul, you had mentioned that the Robusto size, the 5x52, wasn't in your wheelhouse, but the bigger size was. And
yeah, and I don't know if that was age, Joe, or what was going on. I could tell the one I smoked was just off. You know what I mean? And I smoked the larger size, and I was like, well, that was way better. I probably could go back to the Robusto, and it probably settled down. I don't know if it was an age thing or what. But.
Right. Well, the other two sizes, which I've had the previous week, was Give Me a Lunch Money, the 5 3/4 by 46, and the Smash, which is the 5 by 52. And for me, those outweighed the bigger sizes. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I was getting, like I said last week, if you like Liga, this would be in your wheelhouse. The fourth pose, which is a 6 by 54, I just could not get into it at all. You know, it just wasn't balanced for me there. And the Forever Last was kind of, I was like, wow, the smaller the size for me, it tended to be a little bit better. So that being said, the other ones I had given a box split. And this one, I just gave it a try one on both of them. I was like, it was good. But and then I wanted to make sure that I was sure with that. And one of the things that I did was smoke it again, and it was the same thing. So it was different day, different everything.
Yeah.
I think you're with me on the Forever Last. I think you might have been Boxworthy.
Well, was it Boxworthy?
I believe so. That's where I was.
Yeah, one of them I gave a higher rating from there. It was good, and I just like the smaller sizes. I don't know. Yeah. I had one of the smaller sizes yesterday, and I was like, yep. So the first part of the week for the Stogies of the Week, I was kind of experimenting with the different sizes of the All Out Kings, and that's pretty much my take on it. The smaller sizes were kind of more in line of my palate and taste that I liked. So
got to revisit the other sizes. That's where I'm at. I've had 3 Forever Last, but we get down to the small sizes and see where. Yeah,
the All Out Kings got a lot of buzz in local cigar shops here in Rhode Island.
It did.
You could see most of them posting up on Facebook saying, we now have them in stock. Why don't you come by and try one and all that stuff.
Plenty of hype behind it.
It was a collaboration with Drew.
Which gets a lot of hype, doesn't necessarily.
Sure.
Yeah.
True.
Right. So that's pretty much my take on that, I'm over it.
There you go.
Moving on.
How is the Rose of Sharon doing?
Like I'm just about finished here. Again, still get those floral notes. It's very consistent there. There's not a lot of smoke on the palate. You know,
I'm getting a decent amount of
You got a
smoke.
decent-
Yeah,
yeah,
you're right. It's not
kinda-
a ton.
yeah, it's good smoke. Like I said, from the other stuff that I've tried within the line,
Right.
It's a little more subtle there. So I think that they have a win here for sure.
Subtle but flavorful. I feel the drink pairing didn't detract from the flavor at all.
Not at all.
Connecticut that
It
can hold up
holds,
with a cocktail is good. I really like the flavors in the first 2/3. The final third is good. I get a little more of a tobacco kind of note in the final third. I like it. I think I would work it into my regular smoking rotation. My rating is a box split right now. That's just based on one that I smoked during the show. So I do want to smoke more.
Preliminary.
Maybe it's a couple of different sizes and see. There's probably one in that line I'm probably going to like better and buy a full box of. Would be my prediction for this cigar.
Like you've had two thus far. Where are you at?
It's a win.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's the
Like you
rating
wouldn't
now?
not smoke one, right? Like you know what I mean?
would
What's
not
the
smoke one,
What's the
but
price
it's,
point? What's the price point on
What's
this?
the price point? Yeah.
It's $7 price point. 5 to 7 for most of.
So the Toro's
What's the
like what? Somewhere in between that 5 and 7, like 6 and
Brandon,
6 and change.
You can't beat it.
That's it for that price. That's. I try not to factor price into my rating, but you know
you can't
at
help
that,
but,
yeah, like
can't
at
help
that
but give it
price,
a
you're
peek.
like, if I'm going to buy half a box, I might as well just buy a box of that. You know, you buy a line sampler at that price, and then determine if you're going to buy a box. Is really my take on it. I think was it the 211 Esteban Carreras? I think makes the. Was it 211? I don't know if that's Esteban Carreras or not. Has one like in that price point.
I feel there's quite a few Ecuadorian Connecticut's that are out there now. So a lot of the companies seem to touch on that, but this sticks out in the forefront. You know,
Yeah.
for me, it's a different smoke altogether.
It's good.
This
It's a
one.
good, and for me to say it's a good Connecticut offering is, you know, I smoked most of them. I've been highly critical of most of them, all of them that have been out there, and haven't rated, like the smaller percentage are the ones that I rate really high. So
As the viewers know, as far as the Connecticut goes with yourself, that's ticketed gospel. That's
So, Paul, what is it compared to?
this, like I said, is like what is the 211? Kind of reminds me of that one a little bit in terms of price point, and a little bit on the flavor and the body of it.
floral notes, solid body.
With
It's not, yeah, Esteban Carreras 211 is the one that I would, it's price point in smoking experience. I think they're in the same category. And I like that one. I smoke that one fairly regularly as well.
Right.
You know, at the higher price point, you get the Padron Damascus. Did I say it right? Whatever the Padron Connecticut is, the Damascus, I think it's
Right.
called. Whatever it's, I'm butchering it, but yeah, that one.
So I've just gotten into the Connecticut. So what's your go-to Connecticut?
So my go-to Connecticut that stands today, and I know I'm friends with Jose Blanco, and I've talked about EP Carrillo in the past, but their New Wave Reserva in the Toro size is a regular box-worthy purchase for me. And they usually don't come into the local shops here in any kind of quantity, even online. Like they have them, but there's usually not, like they get a few boxes.
Right.
Whenever like the Havana Club or Mr. J's or any of my local shops I frequent get a box of them, I buy a box. At least, sometimes more than a box, and I stock up on them. I stock that regularly. That's my go-to Connecticut smoke.
I can't wait to shadow smoke that with you.
I'll give you one, Mike. I'll give you one after the show. Remind me.
well played.
It's a lead-in.
Now, above and beyond that, which is kind of like, and it's from EP Carrillo as well, Ernesto's Humidor released a Connecticut Maduro and a Sumatra in a Humidor box. That is a higher price tag, even more difficult to find. That Connecticut is like blow you away, Connecticut. Like, oh my! I smoke that on like special occasion. That's like my special occasion.
What's that box count? Is it?
So
50s?
you gotta, well, yeah, you get 30 in the box, and you can only order bundles of 10.
Okay.
So you can order if you can find them, or if you can convince your local shop to order some, and they have them, which is like the stores have to align. They will reorder you. Those are like more like $13, $14 a stick. And then the New Wave Reservas you can get for around $9 or $10 a stick. They're a little higher price tag. Right. And then you kind of dip into it kind of falls from there into like the $6, $7 price point for me, which I like the 211. I like this. The Roast Sharon's really good. What else do I like in that price point?
How about the Serena by Matilde? Those
are pretty good. Those are just okay. I don't know. I'm still trying to. I don't love those. I don't love those yet. Yeah. I don't love those yet. It's tough at the $6 and $7 price, which is why I was impressed by this. Because usually at that price point, I'm really overly critical. So, like, I'd almost rather spend a little more and get that New Wave Reservatoro because EP Carrillo to me set the bar on that Connecticut wise. So.
There should be a new rating, Shadowworthy.
Shadowworthy.
Nice.
Shadowworthy.
Yeah, Shadowworthy. I like that.
Absolutely.
I went with the El Wednesday by Nick Melillo, the Foundation Cigar Company. Was able to attend an event about a month ago. Great bunch of guys. And the cigar blew me away. Obviously, high rating, plenty of hype behind it. And it was delicious. It absolutely lived up to the hype. I had 7x48 Churchill. Gave it a box worthy and scooped a box right there on site. Nicaraguan Corojo 99 Jalapa wrapper and binder. Nicaraguan Corojo 99 and Criollo 98 filler. $10 price point, 6 sizes, and beyond delicious. Wood, cedar, and sweetness. It blended well together. And the El Wednesday translated to the wise man. It was very enjoyable cigar, and still dipping in there. I'm hoping to give the last time in the box. Hoping to give it a little bit of time and circle back in the next 6 months or so. See if it's the same point. What do you got, Joe?
I had the Drew Estate Undercrown Shade Robusto.
I haven't smoked the Shade in a while. Shade's pretty good. It's pretty reasonably price point.
It is. It's got a great price point. You're anywhere between that $7 and $9 range.
Yep.
There. Had the Robusto. The wrapper is Ecuadorian Connecticut. Binder Sumatra. The filler is a Dominican Carrillo 98 with a
Criollo.
Criollo. Thank you, sir.
Got it.
And a Nicaraguan Corojo. It's a good smoke, you know. It was. It was. I thought it was balanced well for Connecticut. It was a little bit stronger than a normal Connecticut. Constructed well. Great smoke. Definitely golfable for sure.
There you go. Yep.
You know, you can go.
It's a good golfable cigar. It's your first cigar when you get on the golf course, for sure.
Especially if you have an early tee time or if you're out there fishing early. It's definitely a good cigar to build you up to some of the stronger stuff.
Does it better your game?
Excuse me?
Does it better your game?
You golf better
Actually,
when you smoke it.
Funny you should say that. The best one, you remember the other one? I can look it up. The one that
a show or two ago,
a show or two ago, I golfed very well, but with that, but
due to the cigar,
nine anyway.
or the bourbon.
Yeah,
I'm having a little trouble with golf the past couple of weeks. I don't know, but
mental game.
Yeah, it is totally a mental game.
Oh yeah, I've seen a lot of mental people play the game.
Yeah.
That too.
Trying to salvage
same guys and gals that are throwing their clubs across the
No, I'm not.
Soft toss right in the pond. Yeah.
You know what? A guy is serious when he's had a bad day of golf and they're going on the back nine and he's totally disgusted, and he tries to come off the tee and he's hit 2 in the water. And gets in the cart and doesn't say a word. And when you get to the pond that he hit his balls in, he tells you to stop the cart. He gets out of the cart, gets his bag, and throws it in the water. So now you got to sit with this guy for another 8 holes, right? So during the 8 holes, you sit with him. Yeah, very awkward. You sit with him for the 8 holes. He's not saying anything. He's totally furious. We get back, and he goes, "Oh, gosh." I go, "What's the matter?" He goes, "My keys are in the bag."
Ooh.
So he goes to the couple kids there. He says, "Hey, can you dredge my bag out of the pond. So they spent about 20 minutes dredging his bag out of the pond. Gets out of the pond, he opens the zipper, grabs his key, and then throws his clubs back.
Right back in. Right back in.
There's a guy that's had enough.
We have a saying.
Yeah, he's
That's a
had
Wednesday.
Eight holes. Yeah, eight holes to think about it. Still doesn't want to
That's
play.
a Wednesday.
Yeah,
We have
yeah.
a saying when I'm about 28 feet away and it's a long putt.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I gotta putt this to make bogey.
Yeah, right.
Right? I gotta putt this to make bogey, and then my anger makes me focus.
Sure.
Which makes me think I'm part of the dock side.
Right,
But
right.
anyway, I kind of, I kind of sink those, and that's really, I call that playing golf from behind. Like when you're on and you know that you have to sink a 20
Sure.
footer.
You're trying to salvage at that point.
And
Yeah.
then trying to salvage. And,
Right.
and lately, past couple of weeks, I've been going through a salvage point.
Well, that happens.
Which is great because the putting is I get focused. I just start to
Feel the hate.
yeah, right. And then after I sink the putt, I'm like, I shouldn't have to get angry to be good.
No.
I know I'm not supposed to.
And
but,
keep in mind, putting, you're so much closer to the hole than when you teed off.
Sure,
There you go.
sure.
Don't underestimate the power of the
That's
dark
right.
side.
That's right.
But the shade didn't that have something to do with Eminem too?
I'm not sure, but
They had.
oh my
some
god, dude! Like a total tangent is. I watched a 4-part documentary on the history of hip hop, the evolution of hip hop. I
Yep.
think it's called Hip Hop Evolution. It was a Netflix documentary, and I've been a fan of hip hop and rap music since I was like 9 years old, and they talked about how it had its roots and origins in New York. Mm-hmm. Now, Jonathan Drew. Mm-hmm. Being growing up in New York, like in talking with Jonathan and watching his social media posts and interviews and other shows, like you can tell he's a huge fan of hip hop.
Sure.
Huge fan of hip hop, right? And we talked a little bit about, I could tell he didn't want to go into it too much in our interview. Like we could have geeked out on that for a long time. But that largely stems from the fact that he was in New York. And that was like, it was the birthplace. They went to this place in the Bronx where in 1973, they're like, this is where it all began. And like little known fact, again, it's a huge tangent. So I'll give you one fact, right, that I never knew, and I've been a fan since like the early days and LL Cool J and all that stuff. They said that at this hotel they would have parties, and I forget the name of the party. It was like DJ Herc was the DJ, and he was very instrumental because in hip hop music, because he would take 2 turntables. He was the first one to have 2 turntables, and he would mix a microphone, but it wasn't even a microphone then, which is funny you say that, Mike. They didn't start rapping over what he did until like a year or 2 later. Yeah. So the origins are 2 turntables. He would mix the breaks together, and the break is like in a soul or funk or even a disco song when it's just the drums and the beat. And he would take all the different records, and it was just the drums and the beat, the breaks, and he would mix the breaks together. He had the break playing on one record and then go to another one, and while that's playing, he'd mix another one in. He never touched the records, very important, right? He would just mix the breaks. That's why they call it breakdancing, because they would dance to the breaks, right? These are the breaks, right? I never knew what that was until I'm like, oh, that makes total sense now. The first one to touch the records and realize he could control the flow of the records was Grandmaster Flash. And he was like one of the first DJ. And he's like, people have taken it beyond that. He's like, but he was the first one, dude. Touch the record, do the scratching. That was Grandmaster Flash. I was like, so that's why Jonathan, and then it kind of dawned on me, reminded me of my interview with Jonathan about how he was in New York, like during those times and in that scene and how it influenced him. And maybe even, I don't know if the name Shade comes from that, but.
Episode 170. No, I have no idea.
You don't know? Raymond, I'm disappointed.
I
Great disappointment.
Even in some of the press
know.
releases,
It would have been good. It would've been good.
Even in some of the press releases that I've done some homework on this before the show, they've made reference to that. Founded
My
in
Uzi
New York
weighs a ton,
City.
dude. That was a Public Enemy song.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Founded in New
There's
York
definitely,
City
you can see
in
different,
1996.
like if you nerd out on this stuff, dude, you can see different, like dotted lines to hip hop.
Okay, what do you think about hip hop? No?
Well, I mean, I don't know much about it.
Well, it's funny you said you started your business in 1973.
Right.
That's when the very, very beginnings of hip hop happen, which I never realized it started that early either.
How about that AJ Fernandez Enclave over there? How's that tasting?
Oh, it's very, very good. I got to say, thank you. And it's better because you gave it to me.
Oh, yeah.
No, there you go. Now, what about John Coltrane?
Yeah, I've heard of him.
Believe it or not, was one of the early influences to hip hop. Big Daddy Kane
he
says
was.
if I could rap like Coltrane played the saxophone, he's like, I knew I was doing it right. I'm like, that's I never drew that like parallel either. That was
Never
pretty cool.
pictured you for the hip hop fan, but
You wouldn't, but yeah, I grew up in the.
You need to watch some previous episodes.
Yeah.
That's right. I grew
What
up.
you
in
learn.
Grew up in the
Yes, you do.
90s.
it's very diverse here.
Yeah.
Grew up
It's
in the
amazing,
90s,
you know,
man.
being from my generation and hearing what you're talking about is quite amazing. It's my generation. We listened to music, but we didn't understand it or
You didn't feel it.
feel it as much as you folks.
But
do.
it's certainly the rock generation
Yeah, we
came
were-
in when
right.
in your generation, right?
Right.
In my generation, it was hip hop music that was
Right.
becoming popular at the time. So
Right.
it's weird.
It is. It's different. It's just it's enlightening. Believe me, it's really
Changing
neat.
of the times.
Yeah, it is. It is. It is.
I'm sure I'll have more useless facts about. I'm full of them about hip hop.
I'm writing them down.
But in regards to the rating, shade, I'd give it a box split. It's a great stick. You should definitely have it in your wheelhouse of to tries and
Solid rating.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, hopefully, we can all celebrate on our Kentucky Derby here coming up.
There you
Saturday.
go.
There you go.
There you go.
Yes.
Oh wait, I have cigars to talk about. Speaking of EP Carrillo, I'll go through that one. This one was the Capa de Sol in the Robusto size, personally gifted to me by Jose Blanco. Just throwing that out there. I love Jose. Awesome guy. He's going to come on the show again because we love Jose and everything he has to share about this wonderful industry.
Wealth of knowledge.
He's working at EP Carrillo now. He gifted me this Robusto. This cigar's fantastic. EP Carrillo is one of my favorite brands. So, I mean, absolutely, there is a bias that I have towards this brand because I just love everything that they're doing. And this was really good, medium body smoke, tons of flavor. I only smoked one for this review, but this is a box split, even just me smoking one that, you know, Jose himself was like, dude, like, let this rest. Like, that's why I haven't reviewed it till now. So I was letting it rest in my humidor, and I was like, dude, this cigar's awesome. I haven't smoked a lot of these newer. I see Jose posted them. They did a lot of rebranding, repackaging, a lot of new lines. This is one of the newer ones. I don't have any other information about it yet. We'll talk about it in upcoming shows as I want to find more because it was a really good smoke and a box split for me.
Excellent. My next one is Omani Maduro, gifted to me by my cousin. We get the hands on
Your cousin, can you put that in context for our listeners?
James
Like in Rhode
Holroyd.
Island, we got a lot
Rhode
of
Island,
cousins.
yeah.
It's
James
Rhode Island.
Holroyd
Is it him?
started the Cigar Corner. There's upwards of 1,500 members, and it just he gets quite a few small companies that reach out to him, and
I like what
quite a few views.
he deemed it as something about cigar reviews from the dungeon. Because when he Facebooks lives,
Last
he's got
night.
this,
but
he does. He's done this for a couple of years now, or
they are
over
raw
a year.
and beyond enjoyable.
Like, dude, he's
Different-
legit
Literally a
in-
dungeon.
Yes, it
he's
is.
in his
Yes, they are.
basement in the apartment complex where he lives.
Right.
And he's like, I can smoke cigars in the basement. That's where
Chains and all.
And I'm like, dude, but like, as you guys know, like, you smoke where you can. Like, we started this show
Exactly.
in my workshop, and there's all tools hanging up in the background and stuff, because that's where we could smoke, right? Because a lot of us don't smoke in our homes.
Right.
We get to find these, like, weird places in our houses. And in the winter, you're not smoking outside when it's minus 20 in the snow.
He's at the ground level. There may be somebody chained to the radiator. I don't know.
Yeah, but he's like in the background, like it's not a redone basement, like dude,
No.
like it's
no.
like
Raw.
legit,
Raw.
like
It's
raw
raw.
basement,
Raw.
raw
It's the
basement.
dungeon.
Yeah,
It is.
it is. So when he said, what did he call it, the cigar dungeon?
Cigar Dungeon.
He should roll with that because
Yeah.
it totally is.
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm going to throw it. I coined the dungeon, but it is what it is.
Oh, so you're
It's-
taking credit? I get it.
I'll
Okay.
take some. Yeah. Ecuadorian sun-grown wrapper, Nicaraguan jalapa binder, and Dominican filler. I had smoked the 6x50 Toro. $7 price point. They come in 5 and 10 packs. They also have the Corojo Habano in Connecticut. I gave it a solid fiver, and chocolate pepper and cedar, and other reviews that I had checked out. They were able to pick up floral notes. I wasn't able to hit up on that, but normally I do. For me, I didn't catch that at the time. Aroma of hay and leather, and medium full cigar made in Honduras. Solid cigar. And
what was the manufacturer on this one again, man?
It's the Omani Maduro.
Ormani Maduro. Okay.
OMMANI. I'd like to see sample some of the other offerings they have and compare and contrast. But it was enjoyable. Gave it a solid 5.
Nice.
Yeah.
Joe Hollywood, what you got?
Milano Estate Heavyweight Maduro Robusto. It's a 5x50. You first light the cigar up, you're like, whoa. This
Milano Estate.
Milano Estate.
Haven't heard of that one before.
MANOLO.
I'm not correcting your pronunciation. I'm just saying I haven't heard of that.
Manolo Estate.
Manolo Estate. That sounds a little better.
Manolo Estate.
Never mind. I was correcting your pronunciation, I guess.
These mint juleps are coming in pretty good. I'm
going to be honest, too.
Manolo Estate, yes.
I'll be honest. He's a pretty strong drink.
You're into the julep part of it.
I'm into the julep, right?
Well past the mint.
I voted to do the Stogies of the Week first, so I can have at least my pronunciation not skewed. But anyway, moving on. Right, the Manolo Estate Heavyweight Maduro Robusto. It's a 5x50. You first light the cigar, you're like, oh wow, it's spice pepper right there. You get an inch into it. It's a Robusto, right? You get an inch into it, and you're like, whoa, well, this died down, and then it was like, it was all right, you know. It was a good stick. In regards to the wrapper, it's a San Andreas Maduro. The binder is a Criollo 98.
Criollo.
Oh, Criollo 98.
Work on that.
Filler, thank you. Is a filler is
syllables
is Nicaraguan, Pennsylvania, and Dominican Lajero. And, you know, as far as it, I gave it a 5. You know, it was one of those things where when you first light it up, you're like, okay, it's called the heavyweight. Sometimes, you know, you want to take it for what it's worth when you read the label. And I was like, wow, this is going to be a very strong cigar going through. But then, like I said, about an inch into it, it died right down.
That initial punch in the mouth, and then it tapered down
initial
from
punch,
there.
and then it just tapered down.
Okay.
There. It was enjoyable. Cigar, like I said, you know, it was good.
Awesome.
Got the
Right, man?
Prendello Sublime Primo. Primo with the French spelling at the end, EAUX. Ecuadorian Habano wrapper, Dominican binder, and Criollo 98 filler. I smoked the 6x54.
At least 5.
That was
at least 5.
I saw 3.
Gave it a solid
burn that
5.
silk.
$10 price point, and it comes in a 5 and 10 pack. I wish if the price point was a little bit lower, the rating probably would have jumped up just a little bit. But it was creamy and pepper, and a little toasty at the end. Reggie Freeman, this is his offering. Tobacco's aged 5 years, and Prendello means light it up. And from the Prendello Cigar Company, made in the DR. And I had just one, but I'd like to see what else. Maybe after.
Where did you get this one? Is this one that I gave you, or no?
You know, I'm on the fence between you and my cousin Jay. One or the other. No,
I've heard of Prendello before.
This might have been you. This might have been you
Okay.
initially. Yep. Prendello.
Prendello Cigars, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Prendello Cigar Company.
And what was the wrapper on this one?
It was Ecuadorian Habano wrapper.
Okay.
Gave it a solid 5. And make a few sticks, but I like to see what else they have to offer too.
Oh, I hate the age verification. I'm trying to see which one you smoked. Because you haven't. Your non-technology. Oh, okay. I know which one. Yeah, that was for me. Yeah.
Okay.
Check the card.
So you give it a 5?
I gave it a 5.
Do you get a picture of it on your card? Did you take a picture of it and print it out?
I always take pictures. I haven't uploaded to the site yet. I'm not.
You didn't print it out and put it on your card?
Joe Ho's way more advanced than I am.
You're getting there. You'll get there. That's fine.
I'm missing the full laptop.
Yeah, but you can pronounce. What's that word again? I have trouble pronouncing.
Criollo.
Criollo.
Like a yo-yo. Like yo-yo.
It's an
Yo-yo.
extra syllable. You're missing it.
Sometimes you get stuff in your head. I always stumble on that. You know.
It takes time.
Yeah.
Golfable.
It takes time.
Golfable.
I smoked a Tatuaje TAA from 2016. Really good cigar. Really
Nice.
good. Like
And
nice.
you have a picture.
I have a picture.
Excuse me.
You're prepared.
This is they've done since 20. When did they start this cigar? It was at least 2012. I want to say the first one was 2012. Like they're all really good too. What's the one that Walt harasses me for? One of them that I have. It's like 20. I think it's the 2013 that Walt he's like, that was one of my favorites.
Yeah.
The 2016 was good. It's not, I think with age it's going to come into its own. The one that I smoked, while it was good, classic Tatuaje flavors, nice spice, pepper. It's still like a fiver for me. Like I don't know if I'd go seek any more out of the 2016 per se. I think previous years have been better. 2013, 2014 specifically. Have been better, but it could be an age thing as well. So, yeah, I'd call this one a fiver. Where'd he go, the little girl's room?
I don't know.
I think so.
I've had the Polita 60th anniversary. Or the Polita, Pulita, Polita 60th.
Pulita!
Is it the
60th
Polita? Get your Spanish on, dude.
Anniversario. Polita 60th Anniversario. This is the same cigar that came out with that big poppy. A lot of hype.
Oh, okay.
A lot of hype on this side of the fence here.
Yeah.
Being close to Red Sox Nation.
It's shaped like a bat.
I had the
No, that was an Opus X shaped like a baseball bat.
I had the Toro 6x54. This was gifted to me by a cigar shop owner. Comes in and says, you want to do a review for that Stogie Geeks show? Yeah, you should try this. And I was like, all right, sure.
Try some Pulita.
Yeah. And I had it, and I'm like, all right, you get a little bit of coffee and chocolate from it, but I don't know. I'm just kind of, I really have to revisit this one here, because if I give it a try one. But supposedly the sticks that come from this factory, it's an up and coming factory. People, they're banking on a lot of that big poppy stick, which I've had, and I didn't give my official review on that big poppy stick yet because I'm still trying to revisit it. But it just leaves me wanting more. That's just the way it goes.
Nice. Those of you that follow me on social media, on Facebook, on Saturday night, when Joe sadly Rayman couldn't make it, but the cigar that I smoked in my Christmas pajamas with my Angel's Envy was the Opus X. They call it the Power Ranger. It's the Bellicoso XXX offering. It was from 2011 or 2012.
Yes.
I went back to in my collection. I tend to be like a
solid
real
engine.
nerd and buy every time Opus X comes out. I buy certain sizes and certain quantities. I label them. I put them in bags in my humidor, and then I only smoke the oldest ones.
So you have patience.
Yeah. Well, if you
Yes, it
start,
is.
I mean,
It's a
when you
virtue.
first start, like you got to have patience when you first start, right? And then if you buy a lot of other smokes or get a lot of free smokes, like you like, to
It's
do,
hard. It's hard to have
with
patience as a shadow
like
smoker.
smoke other stuff, like smoke other stuff.
Yeah,
Shadow
you're on the
smoke,
spot. Yeah, I mean, you got to light up right there.
other stuff, and then keep buying the Opus X and putting it away. Like it does require patience, but after like 5 or 6 years, like then you're in a good spot, right? Because then you don't have to really buy a ton of the new stuff coming out.
Smart.
Like you got this like backlog that you
Very
can
smart.
smoke. You can buy some of the new stuff coming, and I tend to buy the new stuff coming out like sizes that I don't have. Like I pretty much know like I got a ton of the Robustos. Like I don't need to buy a ton more of those, but like if it's the Petite Lancero, I'm like, I know I don't have a lot of those, so I'll buy a little more of those so that I know in 5 or 6 years that's what I'll be smoking, kind of thing. So it's a very nerdy thing to do, requires a lot of patience, but the payoff is big for me because I can go back. And this Power Ranger was like awesome. Like it was firing on all cylinders. It is fight Chuck Norris all day long. Like the smoke was just all. My only complaint was I'm like, I wish I had kind of chosen a little bigger cigar. Because I would have stayed out there a little longer and smoked. I mean,
You have the fire pit fired up or no?
No, I was in my workshop. I didn't have the fire pit. I was watching my kids, dude. So like, I had to have the baby monitor there, to make sure, like, you know what I mean.
Everything's
like,
on the up, right?
I had to like go check on my kids every once in a while. Like I was watching my. I was so
Where's the
low.
little guy's $1.50 or no?
So he's 11 months. Then I have 4 and almost 9.
Right.
And so the 4 and almost 9 were sleeping on the air mattress in the basement. and the 11-month-old was sleeping in my office in the porta crib. We have all that set up so that if mom needs to sleep, we got all that facility set up in
Absolutely, yeah.
the furthest away from the master bedroom kind of thing, so mom needs to sleep or whatever. So I went to my workshop, which is separate from the house, but just adjacent to that, and I had a monitor. You can see it in the picture. You see the monitor. That's the baby monitor right there. Got the monitor set up, monitoring the situation. And I'm like, the 9-year-old knows, like, I'm right there. I'm like, dude, I'm in my workshop. I'm right here.
Oh, yeah.
Like, if you hear something, like, come get me. So I had backup. Like, if my monitor died, I had 9-year-old, like, backup. It's good.
Just dreaming about dung
That's
notes.
all for show.
9-year-olds going to the refrigerator eating
notes.
Oreos.
Right.
No, I hear. If he got up, he knows I would hear it. He knows daddy's, like, technology. Like, daddy's like, oh, he's going to hear me, so I better, yeah. But, dude, I took, and it's kind of funny, I haven't posted on social media yet. This is the first time you'll hear of it. After that, I got down to, like, the nub, and I needed something to put in the end of it so that I could, it was too hot for me to hold with my fingers, and you take, like, a draw poker, but I didn't have a draw poker, but I had a screw. And so I put a screw in the end of it, and I smoked the rest of it. And I put the screw down. I took a picture, and my caption's totally going to be like "Screw the FDA." Like, now what really rejuvenates my love of this industry is when I posted this picture. Carlito Fuente Jr. liked the post.
There you go.
Like, legit saw my post on Facebook, saw that his cigar was the one that I was smoking on, like, my time off, like
6 years of age.
my time, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And he liked
Real
the post.
deal.
I'm like, I was like, that just completes my night. Like, nothing better. Like, this is just awesome.
I like the post too.
I liked it. Someone wants to shadow
like,
smoke.
it wasn't your family. If it was your family that made the cigar, dude, I'd be like that.
I think you did too.
He's looking for a handout. He's looking for a shadow smoke.
I'm in there.
But he's like the dude. His family made the cigar, and they liked my post. I like it when you guys like my post. That's
Thanks,
fine.
man.
But this one was special. This one was just like planets
That ramps up a
aligned.
little bit more, yeah.
Like,
I'm
it
gonna
was
have to
special,
take every
dude.
time Paul posts something. Attention, so and so who created this
Right.
cigar, right? I like it, but if you want to like it too, just click on the button.
That's it. That's it.
I just want to thank Joe Hollywood, Joe Raidman for liking my cigar, and Carlito Fuente Jr. in that order for liking my post. How's that?
I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Do I gotta get a like for a shadow smoke? No.
That's right.
What's
yeah.
the guy gonna do?
That's right.
It's funny because this Carlito Jr. guy is probably like everybody's commenting on these pajamas.
That's right.
It's like
Wait,
it's
hold on.
Christmas.
Pajamas?
pajamas.
Christmas
What are
pajamas.
pajamas? I know
No,
pajamas.
dude. Like, not only to my wonderful friends in Cigars follow me on
pajamas
Facebook.
we speak of.
But like my nerd friends follow me too on Facebook, and in the background is my tablet, my new Chromebook, and one of my friends was like, "Oh, dude, is that the new Chromebook?" Like,
That's awesome.
and I'm like, "Yeah, dude. Like, I'm running Cody through the Android interpreter."
Did any of your friends quote on the new pajamas?
No.
See, you've opened it up. You've opened up Facebook to the
to my
day job.
security to my
Right.
my so yeah. So for those that don't know, in cigars, I've opened it up because cigars, I think, is an industry that early on I realized like they really want to be in touch with you and get to know you.
Do
as
you
a
have enough
person.
friend space, or do you have to tweak the?
Speaking of,
Not yeah, I don't have that problem yet. I wish I had that problem.
All
So,
right.
but in technology, like, dude, my friends are hackers, and that's like point one. I don't know if I want to be friends with them on Facebook because, like, dude, all those rules on Facebook, like, they don't apply to my friends. Like, if they
only-
want to know shit,
I was known as
they're gonna know
Southern
shit.
Draw Joe, and somebody
Baltimore
sabotaged me.
Joe. Baltimore Joe? No?
That's a different story, sir.
Oh, sorry. That's
But
not
I
cigars?
digress. No, somebody smoked me on Facebook, and Facebook, the full qualifications, I had to change it up. Back to Joe D. That's it.
oh, really?
Yeah,
Interesting.
somebody blew me up. It might have been
No, that's not necessarily my.
No, I
Right,
digress. I don't mean to go off base, but
Go ahead, okay.
Oh, no,
you know,
please do.
you have hacker friends, computer friends,
Yes.
and I was watching a segment maybe a week ago. The vintage people were here.
228. Yes.
228. Thanks, Rain Man. You know, they were talking about a lot of women. They got a lot of women in
Certainly.
their shops.
Yep.
Sure.
So, I mean, you
Jenny
guys
Lynn
with,
Hunter?
you know, the computer hackers and some of the computer people, which I'm not. Are you?
Me, I'm awesome on the computer.
As I was watching that segment, I was watching something for some dating site about farmers or something, and I was thinking to myself, something like a Match.com,
Right.
right?
Where's the cigar? Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Yeah.
It's kind of funny. My
You guys
one
can
of my-
copyright it.
That's the newest one.
One of my friends.
there you go.
One of my friends runs
Next.
a site called infosegmentors.net, and he
You
hooks
lost
up.
me. God bless you again.
So, so he runs a website.
Does that have anything to do with dating and cigars?
Yes,
no?
it does.
Okay.
Ready? So he runs a site, and it basically puts people together that want to learn from each other. So there's the mentor, and there's the student.
Oh, you say learn.
Learn. No, this is totally. Just bear with me for a second. man.
What are they learning?
Wait for it.
What are they learning?
What are they
Like
learn?
someone wants to learn about hacking, and someone else signs for the site and says, "Hey, I can teach you hacking." The person that wants to learn hacking maybe says, "Well, I know something about like making websites," and so we share knowledge. And I'm like, "Well, it's a dating site for computer security nerds. It's essentially."
I want a dating
what it
site
is.
for,
Right.
men who enjoy cigars and women who enjoy
But this would be the
cigars.
same
We're onto
thing.
something.
Something
This would
like
be-
Match.com. Who,
This-
do you
we
know
could
Match.com?
totally,
Do you know?
Yeah. Well,
I know quite a bit.
More Ashley Madison. That's been in the news lately.
Whoop.
I don't know if you ever
Oh,
heard
there
of
it
that
is. Yeah.
We could call it ashtray.com. I don't know.
Ashtray Madison.
Whatever it is.
But this would be the same. Like
I don't even
people
want
that
any
wanna-
money. I'm just
people
saying
that wanna
somebody's
smoke
out there
together,
has to do it.
People
I
that
will
want to
tell you-
shadow give you cigars. You want to be
Yes.
hooked up with them. I get it.
Is this
yeah,
like you worry about like women in cigars? Is that what's the way?
No,
you
I'm
know?
saying there's guys who like cigars who are out there who are lonely, and women who like cigars who are out there and lonely.
Beautiful thing. Tied
Let's
in.
match them
Oh, so you
together.
want a full like male
Mash 'em
female
up.
thing? I was talking
want,
about
like-
just guys that want to smoke together.
You're way too advanced. You're
Oh, okay.
way too intellectual.
I will tell you what my experience with women in cigars. I go from fascinating to degenerate in like
Yes.
in like 6 months.
6 months in the same one.
Right, yeah, you have a great life. You smoke cigars, you do
Right.
business, you do great. I go from fascinating to degenerate,
Exactly.
all in the same 6 months. It's crazy.
That's life.
Joe Diaz another cigar, just so you know.
So I just a note. I did smoke the new Davidoff 702 that we've covered
yeah.
and talked about. I did smoke the pyramid size, which is the same pyramid size they make in the Colorado Claro, which is one of my favorite blends of all time.
What size is that, Paul? If you have.
It's like a 6 by 52, 6
Ish.
by 52-ish
Ish.
cigar.
So it's about the ish.
But it's kind of like
Ish.
there's like a box. It's a very unique pyramid size that is very specific to Davidoff. That like when they made it in the Colorado Claro, I'm like that's awesome, and then they made it in the 702. I'm like holy crap, that's like a pyramid size that's very specific to Davidoff. Very, very mild. I smoked it later in the day. I wish I hadn't. It's very, very mild in strength. Awesome flavors, but that should be your first cigar of the day is my only advice right now. I don't have a full review of a rating. That's going to happen next week because I bought a bunch more and I'm going to review them for the show.
I think you should give us some to review.
Paul,
for the
do you
show.
remember the
They're great.
Shadow.
Shadow. Can I shadow that with you?
Paul,
That is an amazing
Shadow.
I
sight.
went, and I'll give a shout out on the show. I went to see my friend Jana at the Humidor, who has these in stock. So I'll plug Jana and her family because they're awesome, and that's where I bought
Recent
them.
bar mitzvah?
And made a recent bar mitzvah.
Yep.
Congratulations, Jana and family.
There you
go.
And I bought them from Jana. So I bought a bunch. I dropped some serious coin.
Are you telling me to go there and buy my own, or what are you
No.
telling me?
Paul, do you remember the pyramid that you gave me?
know the
I hit
rule
you
of
up
the
for
shadow.
Shadow.
I don't
doesn't get
remember
it.
what it was specifically. I was working the other night. I got through half, blew my socks off. It was amazing.
Oh, what was
And
that?
I caught a fire, and I had to revisit it afterwards. But
What was that?
How they started the fire?
yeah,
Someone did. Someone else did.
somebody else did. Pyramid stick you gave me. When I
Did you text it to
first
me?
jumped into Stogie Geeks episode 221 on.
Definitely 221.
I'll bring it to the definitely. I'll bring it to the forefront next episode because
Okay.
it was beyond ridiculous. I loved it.
And it got
No
ruined
one-
by fire.
It did halfway through. It did.
What was that? Did you text it to me this weekend?
I did. Yeah.
I don't have my phone with me.
No, you were caught up. I think it was. You told me what it was, but you were engaged probably with the kids or something else.
I did tell you. I don't remember.
He was wearing his pajamas.
We'll just keep
Pajamas?
Were they
everyone.
Christmas pajamas?
I got to find out what these
Pajamas.
pajamas are all about.
Pajamas.
Yeah.
I've got one more if we get time here.
Let's do it.
Leon Jimenez, the Prestige Black Tube. Connecticut wrapper, binder and filler, all from the DR in Nicaragua. $9 price point, boxes of 20 in the tubos. And it was originally a Cameroon wrapper, debuted at the 2011 IPCPR. Aluminum tube in the black, made at the Lot Roar factory. I smoked the 5x50 Robusto and gave it a fiver. Solid stick. I can't remember where I scooped it up. I don't know if it was from myself or it was one of the random shops I'd popped in, but it was a solid stick nonetheless. I've had one, but I'd like to see what else they have.
When you have one, get one for me. I'll shadow it with you.
There you go.
Well played. Circle back around.
If I only copyrighted it.
Leon Jimenez.
This has been
Prestige.
the Shadow episode. Thanks, Jay and Mike, for joining us today.
Thank
Thanks
you.
to our regular
Thank
cast
you.
and crew.
Thanks, boys.
Thanks to everyone. Little hat tip. Can we play that?
Yeah, one more time.
Could I hear a...
Yes! Enjoy the Derby.
Thanks, everyone, for listening and watching to the Stogie Geeks show. We'll see everyone next time.